Among these was the formulation of policies and strategies documents to help chart a pathway for the implementation of the most needed reform here in the Gambia. Essentially, therefore, the first to be formulated as part of the security sector reform was the National Security Policy in 2019. The policy spells out the key roles and mandates of vital security institutions that are needed to meet the security needs and aspirations of Gambians and non-Gambians residents in the Gambia. The National Security Policy also noted the importance of a communication strategy in bringing together the media, the civil society, organization, and others to exchange information and perspectives. This further reinforces the old adage that until lions know how to write their own history, every hunting tale will glorify the hunter. And this is what the communication strategy needs to achieve. Now, I can confidently report that the security forces now adhere to the democratic practice that uphold the principles of good governance in line with international conventions, treaties, and best practice. I can also state that currently there is no arbitrary arrest, no detention without trial, and no disappearance without trace. Arguably, the National Intelligence Agency, now rebranded the State Intelligence Agency for the past 6 to 7 years, has not engaged in any arbitrary arrest, detention, torture, or any other forms of rights abuse. This is far cry from what obtained in the past.
This partnership exemplifies how the international cooperation can support national efforts in addressing complex security challenges. It is through such collaboration that we can continue to build a foundation for lasting and sustainable peace. The importance of a robust communication strategy cannot be overstated, as you highly mentioned in your opening remarks, Deputy National Security Advisor. And I think we are well aware that in an increasingly connected world, social media, everything else, it is essential that timely, accurate, and proper information is communicated to the citizenry and also to the various rights organizations to make informed decisions for the safety and the security of its people. This strategy is designed to enhance the capacity of the Office of the National Security to communicate more effectively with all stakeholders, including government entities, civil society, development partners, and the public at large. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is very, very important that we ensure that this is not a banjul strategy. The importance of making sure that consultations, engagement, communication flows to the respective regions is embedded within the local governance structures that we have through institutions, and the fantastic role that civil society can play is paramount. It is befitting to note that one of the key institutions that is highlighted in this strategy is the National Human Rights Commission, and also the National Council for Civic Education. I think it's very important that we make sure that messaging that is sensitive and that can really speak and translate to the youth and young people of this nation, to children, people with disabilities, community leaders, religious leaders, is made available to all. And I think it's paramount that we should make sure that this strategy works through important mediums such as community radio stations and the important role that women play in the society of the Gambia. The key elements of the strategy include increased and enhanced information sharing, ensuring that the stakeholders and all citizenry are engaged and feel supported in terms of national security issues. It also includes key elements of capacity building and enabling the Office of National Security to convey complex, sometimes very, very complex security issues in an accessible, transparent, and clear manner to its citizenry.
At the apex of the national security architecture is the National Security Council, of which the President is the chair, and the Vice President, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the National Security Advisor are members. Other service chiefs are also members of the Joint Strategic Technical Committee. After the Joint Strategic Technical Committee, we also have the Joint Intelligence Committee. After the Joint Intelligence Committee, we have the Regional Security Committees from the regions. Thereafter, below that, we have the District Security Committees. And after the District Security Committee, finally, we have the Village Security Committees. This is the national security architecture. And as part of these efforts, 2 weeks ago, the Office of National Security embarked on a tour to bring home this initiative from the Office of National Security. We are partners, we are met to establish regional offices in the regions so that security can be communicated and security can be brought to the doorstep of Gambians and every person living in this country. Therefore, I am happy to report that the regional offices have now been identified and plans are afoot to equip and have them fully functional by the end of this month. Equally, to further demonstrate our adherence to civilian control, only yesterday, the Office of National Security organized a sensitization with the national security members on the National Security Council bill with the kind support from the Ministry of Justice to operationalize the National Security Council, which is called the National Security Council Bill 2024. It is expected to be at the National Assembly on the 24th of June for the first reading.